Good morning, friends. Today I want to talk about making an entrance into our homes. I heard a statistic that people make an assumption about you within the first 3 seconds of meeting you. Now that has to do with your appearance, your personality, the expression on your face, but a lot is determined by what they see. And so with our homes, I believe that it can be the same way. And I want the entrance to our home to be warm and inviting and beautiful. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to live in the picture perfect house. Right now, we are living in a place that I do not feel like will be our forever home. We have actually been here longer than we anticipated, but it doesn't mean that we can't put a little effort into beautifying and making it an inviting place. We are transitioning into fall, or at least I hope we are. It has been so hot here in California this middle of August, and I apologize for the noise of the cows, but I am willing it to get here, and so I want to throw in a little bit of fall into my decor. Not a lot yet, because I like to enjoy the present season as well, and so I still have some greenery that I want to use. And actually, I made some blackberry tea from some of the blackberries that we picked at the farm. And so it is definitely still cold drinking weather around here, but I thought I would go ahead and sprinkle in just a little bit of fall into our front entrance decor. So let me show you what I have been working on. Okay, so I have been wanting to attempt to paint our front door. Our front door was brown, or has been brown for as long as we've lived here, and I really haven't minded it. It's been a very dark, neutral background that would go with all of the wreaths that I have. But I thought it might be time to add just a pop of color, and green is my favorite color. For a long time, I didn't think I had a favorite color, but I have finally determined that green is indeed my favorite color. And so I thought about doing an English green. I love looking at videos and pictures and magazines of the English countryside and cottages, and I love their bright, vibrant doors that they have. And so I thought I would go with a bright green. So I went to Lowe's with my youngest little one, and we looked at all of the greens, and I will have to say that it is true. There are 40 shades of green and some more. There are so many shades of green. And so I picked out 3 different ones that I thought might be a possibility, and brought those home and taped them up on the door. My husband and I agreed upon one that is called Derbyshire, or Derbyshire. The Shire? I think it's Shire. I'm going to learn how to pronounce those names when I go to England. But anyway, we settled upon that name, which was perfect because it had the connotation of the English green that I wanted to incorporate. And so I went with that one. I purchased it, we brought it home, I started painting it on the door. Actually, I started painting in the evening time, and I thought, well, it always dries differently, so I'm going to start on it tonight and then I will finish it. The cows are ready for breakfast. I will finish it tomorrow. So that is what I did, and I did not like it. It looked to me more like a green chalkboard, and I was so disappointed. So I was telling a friend about it, and she said that Lowe's would accept my return paint if it was the wrong color. So I took it back to Lowe's, and they wonderfully took it back without any questions besides it was just the wrong color, and refunded my money. So I wasn't out that money on my mistake. I am notorious for having a history of choosing the wrong paint color at least once or twice before I land on the right one. So I went back to try to select another green, and I could not find anything that was what I had in my mind, apart from the one that I had already purchased that didn't work. So I left there and didn't purchase another one that day, and decided to try Home Depot. Went to Home Depot and found, I believe it is Mountain Forest. I will insert a clip because now I can't remember what it is called. But I had this little picture that a friend had given me as a hostess gift, and it was green, and I love the color green that it is. And so I took that with me to Home Depot and tried to match as closely as I could that green, because that is the green that I had in my mind. So I took that with me, and I got the closest one that I could find, purchased it, brought it home, and painted our door that color. I like it so much better, but I wouldn't say that I am 100% happy with it. So I would love to know what you think about it, and if you have any suggestions for a bright or an English green that doesn't look like a chalkboard. I just am at a loss for, maybe we just don't have that green here in the United States that I have envisioned. So for now, we are going to live with this because this is the second time around, and it does look nice. It is still not the shade that I want, but it adds that pop of color. It coordinates our house color well. And then the other consideration was, when our door is opened, you can see our front door, and you can see our kitchen wall in the background that is also green, but it's a totally different shade of green. And I didn't want those two to clash, and the first color definitely clashed, and I didn't like seeing those together. But this green does not clash with the kitchen green, and maybe I will insert a clip of that as well. So apart from the painted front door, I wanted to switch the wreath out for fall, and I have two or three that I would like to show you. I definitely do not care for one of them with the green. I will probably use that one in my kitchen to decorate for fall, but I do like the other two. One of them brings out the gold that I have in the pillows here on my little church bench. This church bench was given to me by my sister, who started a nonprofit in Texas, and they actually renovated an old church, and these pews were from that church. And so it's very special, and I use it here in front of my little porch. I also just made a spot in an old crate for my mud boots that I can wear around the farm. And then I took the thrifted chair that I thrifted this summer for $5 and switched that out. I had a little table up there, but I decided to switch that out with the chair, and then added a plant and an old tablecloth for some contrast in color. And so I think it is a good just freshening up of our front porch area and a good transition into fall. I also ordered my favorite fall essential oil, which is the Revive Immunity Boost, which I mentioned last year in a video, just is like fall in a bottle. I love the smell of it. And I've had people comment that coming up to our porch when the door is open and I am diffusing that oil, that they can smell it as they're walking up, and I just love that. So I did order a new bottle of that for this fall. And then last but not least, my father-in-law and husband built a new gate around our front yard back over spring break, and I will share a little bit of that with you here. The gates are my favorite part. I had seen a picture of an English gate that captured my attention, and so I showed the picture to my husband and father-in-law, and to the best of their ability they recreated that gate for me, and I love them, and everyone that comes loves them. And I also added a little bell to our front gate. I have always wanted to have a bell either at our gate or at our front door that I would know when someone is here, because we do not have a doorbell, so anyone that comes just has to knock, and I can keep track of my littles when they are out of the yard. And so we added that little bell. I would love to replace it with a more ornate one in the future, but for now I love the sound of it, and it is so much fun. So that is our front porch makeover, transitioning into fall, making an entrance and making a welcome. I hope you have enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts on shades of green, and I hope you have a wonderful back to school time if that is you, or wherever your homemaking is taking you. Blessings, and I'll see you next time.